Hi folks, welcome to Blackbeard's Detailing YouTube channel. I'm Ross, and in this episode we're going to be fitting some custom dynamics goodies onto the Harley Davidson Lowrider S. Now, the main things are number plate, bracket, rear indicators and front indicators, which will make it go from standard looking, which looks like this, to nice and new and swish like this. Stick with and you shall see how it's done. So first up, and hopefully the simplest job, is the plate frame mount. This is not listed as compatible with this bike, however I have had a right good look about it and I'm pretty sure that it does. This is a 2021 Lowrider S, European spec. It's there. The part number for this is 2030-0993. That's 2030-0993, and it's called the Mount Radius LP Black, and unfortunately it's used made in China, but we shall ignore that. It does feel quite hefty. So on this, should be relatively simple. I've kind of cheated and I've already removed two of these bolts that are in there, and also kind of loosened the last one, but I've genuinely not test fitted this yet, so if it doesn't work and it doesn't fit, then there's some egg on my face. So lift this up nice and gently and just remove that hardware so it doesn't get missing. And then the new mount comes with all the required hardware. So we have a little bag of stuff sitting there. And a neoprene cover which fits up perfectly and feels a lot thicker than the supplied Harley Davidson one, so hopefully that is going to be a bit more protection. But anyway, we will grab these out. And stick all these on. So the bolts that come with are little nylon thread locking bolts, so hopefully they should not shake loose, and of course you have to drop one, because if you don't drop a bolt on a nut while you're working on your car or your bike, then there's something wrong. So marry these up nice, and yeah, that fits perfectly. It's much lower profile than the other one. I should note as well, I'm cheating slightly because I have the bike up on the ramp, which gives it a bit easier access, but this should still be perfectly achievable should it be on the deck. We'll just fasten all these up now. So once you've tightened up that top one, have a wee look at the back and make sure that that is nice and level before you tighten up those other two, and that looks perfectly straight. On this kit, it's a 10mm bolt on the, nut, I should say, in the back, and it is a HW5 sized Allen on the front end, and as you can see, nice and simple to install. So there we go, that's that. Nice and simple to install. It took less than 5 minutes to do, and it's so much better. The black in keeping with the colour of the bike, and it's a bit smaller than this. The profile on that one, as you can see when it sits very upright, whereas that is a bit more slanted, and it's also curved in line with the fender, so it looks so much better. So next up we have the Custom Dynamics Pro Beam rear LED turn signal lights. Again, this is specified for the bike. The part number for this is 2020-1675. That's 2020-1675, and they're called signal insert bullets. with the amber covering. So the installation of these is honestly so simple. Take a trim removal tool, something which is pretty rigid. If you use a screwdriver in here, wrap a couple of bits of insulating electrical tape through it to make sure you don't damage the metal housing or crack that, and that literally comes off like so easily. Bulb in and turn anti-clockwise, that comes out, and take your nice new insert which comes wrapped up really well. So give that a wee pull out, take the insert section out, the LED housing, and then put the amber bit down. So remember, we turned this anti-clockwise before, so we'll turn this clockwise, and you need to just kind of grip it ever so slightly. There is a wee slot in there for you to put a screwdriver or a trim removal tool in there to lock it in place, but you can just push it in and turn it with your fingers. Now, key with this is don't pull with these wires. There is a wee label on the bag saying do not pull by wires. So you'll obviously get quite a bit of excess wire in there, so give it a wee twist round a couple of times, which takes up all the slack in there, and then that just holds that tight. Now, bother OCD, the LED round that side, I've got one 12 o'clock and one down at 6 o'clock, so just to make sure they're all nice and even. And then on your little lens cover, there is a little section on it with some writing. It says Custom Dynamics, and at that point that's where you've got your access should you need to remove it. Again, you don't have to do this, you can put it on any way you want, but so it's all nice and uniform. I want everything all pointing down the way, and that just pushes in nice and tight. We will move on to the front. Okay, so next up we have the ProBeam the Custom Dynamics LED front turn signals. These are listed as compatible with this bike. The part number is 2020-1792. That's 2020-1792. These are a bit more involved than the rears, so what we'll need to do is remove this front, take this bulb out and start tracing a live feed wire all the way down, because we need that for the outer ring of LEDs which glows white, which matches nicely to the front headlamp. So yeah, we'll crack on with this. So first off, take the existing bulb out. This is attached on to the bolt that holds on your rear view mirror, so we need to remove that. I've dropped my mirrors, yours might be the other side, so remember, when all this comes off, all this stuff will fall off, so have your other hand ready. So next up, we need to be a little bit destructive with this. We're going to need to take this off, so we need it is a 13mm. Take this all the way off. Which then ends up like that, and you get this wee bit. And again, pop that to the side. So with this, we need to pull this little grommet all the way out, and when you get near the end of it, don't just yank it, because you'll then break the wires on the inside. So you're wanting that basically out like that. Then grab a Stanley blade and very carefully cut through that grommet. Make sure you don't hit the wires underneath. So that's that. And there we go. That's us got that sitting free. Is take your indicator the new one. Apologies, I'm aware I'm out of camera view here. And then there's one or two ways you can do this. I've done it in both ways in the past. You can drill a very tiny hole in there and feed this wire through that, or the other option is right in the bottom of that gap, you need to get this through there and feed enough through so you can grab the white wire from in there, which takes quite a bit of footering about, but you will get there eventually. It might take you 5 minutes, and it might take you 50 minutes, but you will eventually get there. Okay, that's us got that fed through there, so you're just looking to pull it through nice and gently. And you'll need a straight screwdriver with a long blade at this point, because what you need to do is attach this bit into these and turn, which also jams in that white wire, but you can't just push that and turn at that point because the resistance in the wire, the cable, that cable kind of grips it as it turns, so you need a little turn and then that shoe. And at this point you're just wanting to give the bike a little, there we go, that's us. So you just flip it round the other side and then there we go, that's it. And it's, I'm not obviously yanking that because it'll damage it, but that is on nice and secure. So the same as the rears, we're going to give this a twist round a couple of times to bunch up that excess wire which is inside, and then grab hold of the lens and pop it on. There we go, that's that, and then you can see it's working fine in there. Switch the camera around to the other side and we will tackle this wire. Okay, so that's that now fed through. Next up we are going to electrical tape these two wires together, tiny wee grommet like that. Then take your Stanley blade and then very carefully just cut a wee access through that. So as you can see there, feed it through that, push it down through, get it locked in place, and there we go. Grommet is in, and then that wee nick at the corner, a tiny wee dot of silicone there, just to make that nice and watertight. So next up, we're going to just reinstall this. It's exactly the same as taking it off. So I'll join you after this has been done. Next up is tidying all this wiring up. Take the front cowling off at this point. It's just the two silver Allen key bolts down at the bottom there, and then it'll tilt forward and then just pull it towards you and it'll break away from the little rubber poppers. So next up we are going to shrink all these together. A, so it looks neat, tidy, and B, just to protect it from the elements and so it all matches in with the rest of the bike. Okay, I've taken the connector out the back of the headlamp, and nice easy connections there to test which ones are there. So as it stands right now, the electrics are turned on, and the standard, the kind of halo light on the outside of that is illuminated, and as you can see, that's alive and that's alive. So we have, if that's terminals 1, 2, 3 and 4, number 2 is live and number 4 is live upon the ignition being turned on. Number 3 is for the high beams. So there we go, all finished, all in around about kind of 4 hours, but that was juggling telephone calls to work and things like that. But yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. Are you ready? So there we go, we have the 2 fronts on like that, and then when they change to the amber. The light connection number 2, which they were hardwired into, is the constant for the main headlamp. I checked them all out, went over it, and then decided to go with that, basically because I've got this cool little ability to do this. Should you ever need to get people out your way, it looks very flashy, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you're filtering and you're looking for people to move, then you've got nice up and down headlamps. You can make one like that. So yeah, if you don't want them to do that, if you want them to stay on all the time, then wire them into number 4. But the very odd occasion you flash somebody, I think that is certainly going to get their attention. As you can see, the indicators all working fine, hazards, right side, left side, and yeah, they look absolutely fantastic paired with the LEDs on the back. It's just modernised the whole kind of light look of the vehicle, of my bike. So yeah, I am absolutely chuffed with that. So I'm going to get another plate in the back of it, waiting for somebody coming up for a quote, and then I am going to hit the road. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, any comments, anything like that, please leave them in the comment section. Remember to smash that little like button if you've liked the video. If you've disliked it, then off the channel. And it also really helps me out if you would subscribe. I am slowly keeping up every month, getting closer and closer to that 1,000 follower mark. So I would really like to reach that. Goal is 1,000 followers by the end of the year. So if you're watching this, it would mean a lot if you just hit that subscribe button. Lots of cool content upcoming. I've got a brand new GoPro Hero 10 which you can film with that. I've got a brand new laptop over there to edit that, along with some really cool funky editing software. So there's a lot of cool stuff going to be getting done with the bike. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Cheerio, bye.